What if I told you that the way you speak could change your life? That the words you choose, the tone you use, and the way you express yourself could open doors you never imagined. Imagine walking into a room and instantly commanding attention, respect, and trust. That's what strong communication skills can do. The kind of skills that make people listen, follow, and remember you. In this audiobook, we're going to unlock 10 powerful tips that will help you speak like a leader, whether you want to improve your professional presence, influence people, or simply feel more confident in everyday conversations. These tips will give you the tools you need. You'll learn how to speak clearly, connect with your audience, and leave a lasting impact every time you communicate. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. By subscribing, you'll get more tips and insights on communication, leadership, and personal growth, so you can continue improving and becoming your best self. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming. Are you ready to speak like a leader and boost your communication skills? Let's get started. Chapter 1: Understanding the Power of Communication. Communication is more than just talking. It is the bridge that connects people, the tool that allows ideas to spread, and the way leaders inspire others. Yet, many people underestimate its power. They speak without purpose, use words that confuse, or fail to express their thoughts clearly. The truth is, effective communication can change everything in your life. It can build trust, open doors to opportunities, strengthen relationships, and help you achieve goals you never thought possible. Understanding the power of communication is the first step toward speaking like a leader. When we talk about communication, it's not just about the words you say. Your tone, body language, facial expressions, and even the pauses you take all play a role in how your message is received. For instance, speaking with confidence, maintaining eye contact, and using gestures to emphasize points can make your words more persuasive. On the other hand, mumbling, avoiding eye contact, or speaking too fast can make your message unclear, no matter how brilliant your ideas are. Communication is a skill that combines both what you say and how you say it. One of the most common mistakes people make is assuming that being right is enough. They believe that if their ideas are strong or facts are accurate, people will automatically listen. But being right doesn't guarantee that your audience will engage with you. Leaders know that communication is about connection, not just information. To speak like a leader, you need to consider the feelings, perspectives, and needs of your listeners. You need to craft your message in a way that is both clear and relatable, so people not only understand your words, but feel compelled to act on them. Another important part of powerful communication is clarity. A clear message removes confusion and makes it easier for people to grasp what you are saying. If you ramble, use jargon, or add unnecessary details, your message can get lost. Speaking like a leader means learning to express complex ideas in simple, understandable terms. It's about making your audience feel confident that they know exactly what you mean and that your ideas are worth listening to. Listening is also a critical component of effective communication. Many people focus only on speaking, forgetting that listening is just as important, if not more so. Listening allows you to understand your audience, respond appropriately, and build stronger relationships. When you truly listen, you gain insight into what people value, what they worry about, and how they think. Leaders listen before they speak, because they understand that the right words are shaped by understanding. By listening, you create a connection that makes your words more impactful and your message more persuasive. Confidence plays a huge role in communication. When you speak with confidence, people are more likely to trust and follow you. Confidence doesn't mean arrogance or talking over others. It means believing in your message and delivering it with clarity and assurance. Even if you feel nervous, acting confidently helps your audience believe in what you are saying. Confidence is contagious. When you are confident, others feel more confident in your ideas and your leadership. Another powerful tool in communication is storytelling. People are naturally drawn to stories because they are memorable and relatable. A good story can make your message come alive, engage emotions, and leave a lasting impact. Leaders use stories to illustrate points, inspire action, and connect with people on a deeper level. When you tell a story, think about your audience and what they care about. Make it relatable, vivid, and clear. A story can turn an ordinary message into something unforgettable. Tone is another element that often gets overlooked. The same words can have very different effects depending on how you say them. Speaking with energy, warmth, and enthusiasm can make your message more compelling. Conversely, a flat or monotone voice can make even important points seem unimportant. Practicing tone, pace, and emphasis will help you sound more confident, engaging, and persuasive. Nonverbal communication also matters. Your body language, posture, gestures, and facial expressions all communicate messages even before you speak. Standing tall, using open gestures, and making eye contact conveys authority and confidence. Fidgeting, slouching, or avoiding eye contact can undermine your message, even if your words are strong. Leaders pay attention to how they carry themselves because every movement contributes to how their message is received. Preparation is a key element for speaking effectively. Before a meeting, presentation, or conversation, think about what you want to communicate and how to do it clearly. Organize your thoughts, anticipate questions, and practice your delivery. The more prepared you are, the more confident and persuasive you will appear. Preparation allows you to handle unexpected situations gracefully and ensures your message is delivered as intended. So, practicing communication every day strengthens your skills. Communication is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Practice speaking in different situations, experiment with tone and body language, and listen actively in conversations. Seek feedback from trusted friends or mentors, and pay attention to how people respond to your messages. Over time, your ability to communicate clearly, confidently, and persuasively will grow, helping you speak like a true leader. Chapter 2. The importance of listening. Effective communication is not just about speaking clearly, it's equally about listening. Listening is often overlooked, but it is one of the most powerful skills you can develop if you want to speak like a leader. When you listen carefully, you gain a deeper understanding of others, their needs, their concerns, and their perspectives. Listening allows you to respond thoughtfully and build trust, which makes your words more impactful and your message more persuasive. Many people think that communication is about talking, but the truth is that talking without listening can lead to misunderstandings, confusion, and missed opportunities. When you focus only on what you want to say, you may miss important cues from others. Listening carefully allows you to pick up on both verbal and nonverbal signals. Sometimes what someone doesn't say is just as important as what they do say. A pause, a change in tone, or a hesitant gesture can reveal underlying feelings that you can address if you are paying attention. True listening requires focus. When someone is speaking to you, it's easy to get distracted by your own thoughts, your phone, or other surroundings. But to communicate like a leader, you need to be fully present. This means giving your complete attention to the person speaking, not just thinking about your response or planning what you will say next. When you listen attentively, you show respect and signal that you value what the other person has to say. People respond positively when they feel heard, and this strengthens your influence and credibility. Another key aspect of listening is empathy. Empathy allows you to understand not just the words someone says, but the emotions behind those words. By putting yourself in someone else's shoes, you can connect on a deeper level. This connection makes your response more meaningful and your communication more effective. Leaders listen with empathy because they understand that communication is about relationships, not just facts or instructions. Empathy allows you to respond in a way that shows understanding and builds trust. Active listening is a skill that can be practiced and improved over time. It involves techniques like paraphrasing, where you repeat what someone has said in your own words to ensure understanding. It also includes asking clarifying questions to gain more information and demonstrate that you are engaged. By practicing active listening, you improve your ability to understand others, respond appropriately, and avoid misunderstandings. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes, and your overall communication skills improve dramatically. Listening also gives you the advantage of learning. Every conversation is an opportunity to gain new insights, perspectives, and knowledge. When you listen carefully, you can gather valuable information that helps you make better decisions, solve problems, and lead effectively. Leaders use listening as a tool for continuous learning. They know that they don't have all the answers, and that understanding others' viewpoints can provide new ideas and solutions. Another important aspect of listening is recognizing the difference between hearing and understanding. Hearing is simply perceiving sound. Understanding is grasping the meaning behind what is being said. To communicate effectively, you need to go beyond hearing and truly understand the message. This involves paying attention to context, emotions, and intent. When you understand fully, your responses become more precise, relevant, and persuasive. Listening also requires patience. Sometimes people need time to express themselves, especially when discussing complex or emotional topics. Interrupting or rushing them can damage trust and reduce the impact of your communication. Patience shows that you respect their perspective and value their input. It allows for a more thoughtful and constructive dialogue. Leaders understand that patience in listening is a key ingredient for building strong relationships and fostering collaboration. It's also essential to avoid distractions while listening. Multitasking, checking your phone, or thinking about unrelated tasks can make the speaker feel ignored or undervalued. Being fully present sends a clear message that you care about what is being said. Non-verbal cues like nodding, maintaining eye contact, and leaning slightly forward also communicate engagement and attentiveness. These small gestures reinforce your verbal communication and show that you are genuinely listening. Listening well also helps you manage conflicts. Many disagreements occur because people fail to listen properly. By taking the time to hear and understand the other person's perspective, you can find common ground and develop solutions that satisfy everyone. Effective listening prevents misunderstandings and reduces tension. It allows you to address concerns before they escalate and demonstrates that you are considerate, thoughtful, and capable of handling difficult conversations. So, practicing listening strengthens your ability to communicate with clarity and impact. When you understand others fully, you can tailor your message to meet their needs and expectations. You can choose the right words, tone, and approach to ensure your message resonates. Leaders know that communication is most effective when it is informed by careful listening. The more you listen, the better your communication becomes, and the more influence you have over your audience. Chapter 3: Organizing your thoughts for clear communication. One of the most important skills in effective communication is the ability to organize your thoughts before you speak. When your ideas are scattered or unclear, it's hard for others to understand your message. But when you structure your thoughts clearly, people listen, engage, and respond positively. Leaders know that clarity begins with organization, and it is one of the simplest ways to improve your communication skills. Organizing your thoughts starts with understanding your main message. Before you speak, ask yourself, what do I want the other person to know or do? What is the purpose of this conversation? When you have a clear goal in mind, it becomes easier to structure your words and make your point effectively. A clear message helps you stay focused and prevents unnecessary rambling. People are more likely to remember and act on your message when it is concise and purposeful. Another important step in organizing your thoughts is to break your message into key points. Even though you are not writing bullet points in a script, thinking about your ideas in smaller, connected chunks helps your mind present information clearly. Each idea should support your main message. For example, if you are explaining a plan, outline the steps in a logical order. If you are giving feedback, separate your observations, examples, and suggestions. This approach keeps your communication organized and easier for others to follow. It's also helpful to practice mental rehearsal. Before speaking in a meeting, giving a presentation, or even having an important conversation, take a few moments to run through your message in your mind. Imagine how you will start, what points you will cover, and how you will conclude. This mental practice allows you to organize your thoughts and anticipate potential questions or reactions. When you rehearse in your mind, you are more likely to speak confidently and clearly. Clarity is enhanced by using simple, direct language. Complex sentences, jargon, or unnecessary words can confuse your audience. Speak in a way that is easy to understand, even for someone who might not be familiar with the topic. Leaders speak clearly because they want their message to be accessible and actionable. The simpler and more precise your language, the stronger your communication will be. Another key element in organizing your thoughts is knowing your audience. Understanding who you are speaking to helps you decide what to include, what to emphasize, and how to frame your message. Different people process information differently, so tailoring your message to your audience ensures it resonates. For instance, a technical explanation for a team of engineers will differ from one given to a group of non-technical stakeholders. By considering your audience, you can organize your ideas in a way that makes sense to them, which enhances clarity and engagement. Taking pauses is another effective way to organize your thoughts while speaking. Pausing gives your mind a chance to collect ideas and ensures that your message is coherent. Many people rush through their words because they are nervous or eager to finish. But speaking too quickly can make your ideas difficult to follow. Pauses create space for emphasis and allow your audience to absorb your message. A well-timed pause also signals confidence, showing that you are thoughtful about what you are saying. When organizing your thoughts, it is also important to prioritize your ideas. Decide which points are most important to convey first and which can come later. Lead with your strongest, most compelling ideas to capture attention. Supporting details can follow, providing clarity and context. Ending with a strong conclusion reinforces your main message and leaves a lasting impression. Prioritizing your ideas ensures that your communication is effective and memorable. Another technique to organize thoughts is visualization. Picture your message as a journey, with a clear starting point, a middle where you explain your ideas, and an ending where you summarize and reinforce your point. Visualization helps you structure your communication in a logical, flowing manner. It makes it easier to speak naturally without losing track of your message. Leaders often use this method to ensure that their speeches or presentations have a strong impact and are easy to follow. Listening to yourself is also crucial. When practicing, speak out loud and pay attention to how your words sound. Are your sentences clear? Do your ideas flow logically? Can someone else understand your message easily? By listening to yourself, you can identify areas that need improvement and make adjustments before speaking in front of others. This practice builds confidence and ensures that your communication is organized and effective. So, organizing your thoughts requires practice and patience. The more you practice thinking and speaking clearly, the more natural it becomes. Start with small conversations, gradually move to presentations, and then to larger, more formal situations. Over time, your ability to structure your ideas and communicate them effectively will strengthen. Organized thinking leads to organized speaking, which in turn builds trust, authority, and influence. Chapter 4: The Power of Body Language. Communication is more than just words. In fact, experts say that a large part of what we communicate comes from our body language. The way you move, your posture, facial expressions, gestures, and even eye contact all send signals to the people around you. Leaders understand that effective communication involves both words and nonverbal cues. Using body language intentionally can make your message stronger, your presence more commanding, and your interactions more persuasive. The first thing to understand about body language is that it reflects your confidence. When you stand tall, shoulders back, and make steady eye contact, people perceive you as confident and trustworthy. On the other hand, slouching, avoiding eye contact, or fidgeting can signal uncertainty or lack of confidence, even if your words are strong. By paying attention to your posture and movements, you can reinforce the message you're delivering with your words. Your body can speak before you even open your mouth. Eye contact is one of the most powerful tools in communication. Looking people in the eye shows that you are engaged, attentive, and sincere. It builds trust and establishes a connection between you and your audience. Avoiding eye contact can make you seem nervous, distracted, or untrustworthy. When speaking to a group, make sure to look around the room and make brief eye contact with different individuals. This makes everyone feel included and keeps your audience connected to your message. Gestures are another important aspect of body language. Using your hands to emphasize points, illustrate ideas, or guide attention can make your speech more engaging and memorable. However, it's important to use gestures naturally and avoid overdoing them. Too many movements can be distracting, while too few can make your delivery seem flat. Pay attention to your gestures and make sure they match the tone and meaning of your words. When used effectively, gestures reinforce your message and make you appear more confident and dynamic. Facial expressions also communicate a lot. A smile can convey warmth, friendliness, and openness, while a frown or tight lips can signal tension or disapproval. Your expressions should match the emotion of your message. If you're telling an exciting story, let your face show that excitement. If you're addressing a serious issue, your expression should reflect seriousness. Matching your facial expressions with your words makes your communication more authentic and credible. Posture is another subtle but powerful aspect of body language. Standing or sitting with a straight back and relaxed shoulders communicates confidence and authority. Leaning slightly forward when talking shows interest and engagement, while leaning back can signal relaxation or disinterest. The way you carry yourself in a room affects how people perceive you. Leaders are aware of their posture because it enhances their presence and strengthens their message. Your posture speaks volumes before you even say a word. Handshakes, when appropriate, also play a significant role in first impressions. A firm, confident handshake communicates professionalism and respect. A weak or hesitant handshake can give the impression of uncertainty or lack of confidence. Even in casual interactions, gestures like a nod, a wave, or an open-handed motion can enhance your communication. Being mindful of these small signals ensures that your body language supports, rather than contradicts, your words. Breathing and tone of voice are also part of nonverbal communication. When you speak too quickly, mumble, or have a shaky voice, it can undermine your message. Controlled breathing helps you stay calm, project your voice, and maintain a steady tone. Your tone should match the message you want to convey. Enthusiasm, calmness, and authority can all be expressed through tone, and when combined with confident body language, your communication becomes more persuasive. It's also important to read the body language of others. Communication is a two-way street, and understanding how people respond non-verbally allows you to adjust your message. Are they leaning in or stepping back? Are they nodding in agreement or looking confused? Paying attention to these cues helps you adapt your approach and ensures that your message is received effectively. Leaders are keen observers. They adjust their words and gestures based on how their audience reacts, which makes their communication more impactful. Mirroring is another subtle technique that can strengthen communication. By subtly reflecting the posture, gestures, or tone of the person you are speaking with, you create a sense of connection and rapport. This technique should be natural and not exaggerated, but when done correctly, it helps people feel more comfortable and understood. Mirroring enhances trust and makes your communication more effective. So, practicing body language is essential. Just as you practice speaking clearly and organizing your thoughts, practicing confident posture, gestures, eye contact, and expressions helps make these behaviors natural. Record yourself speaking, practice in front of a mirror, or ask for feedback from friends. The more you practice, The more your body language will support your words and make your communication more impactful. Leaders understand that communication is a combination of words and presence. By mastering both, you can speak like a leader and make your message memorable. Chapter 5. Speaking clearly and confidently. Speaking clearly and confidently is one of the most important skills for anyone who wants to communicate like a leader. When you speak with clarity, people understand your message easily. When you speak with confidence, they trust your words and are more likely to follow your ideas. Both clarity and confidence work together to make your communication strong, persuasive, and memorable. The first step to speaking clearly is to organize your thoughts before you speak. When your ideas are scattered, your words can become confusing. Take a moment to think about the main point you want to communicate and the key ideas that support it. Mentally outline your message and consider the best way to present it so your audience can follow along easily. Leaders take time to prepare because they know that clear communication is a reflection of understanding and professionalism. Pronunciation and enunciation are also crucial. Speaking too fast, mumbling, or slurring words can make it difficult for others to understand you. Practice speaking slowly and clearly, ensuring that each word is pronounced correctly. Pausing between sentences or key points allows your audience to absorb your message. When you enunciate your words, your speech becomes easier to follow and more engaging. Clear speech shows that you are in control and confident in what you're saying. Confidence in speaking also comes from knowing your topic. The more familiar you are with what you are talking about, the more naturally your words will flow. Preparation is key. Research, gather examples, and understand the details of your subject. When you know your topic well, you won't hesitate, stumble, or struggle to explain your ideas. Confidence grows when you are prepared, and preparation ensures that your message is clear and authoritative. Another important element of confident speaking is voice control. Your tone, volume, and pitch affect how your message is received. Speaking too softly may make your audience strain to hear you, while shouting can seem aggressive or unprofessional. Practice using a steady, strong voice that conveys authority without being overbearing. Vary your tone to emphasize important points and to keep your audience engaged. Leaders know that a well-controlled voice can influence how their message is perceived and increase the impact of their words. Body language works hand in hand with speaking clearly and confidently. Standing tall, using gestures naturally, and maintaining eye contact reinforce your words. When your body language matches your message, it strengthens your credibility. Conversely, if your body language contradicts your words, people may doubt what you are saying. Practice aligning your gestures, posture, and facial expressions with the content of your speech. This combination of verbal and non-verbal communication makes your message powerful and memorable. One key strategy for speaking confidently is avoiding filler words like or like. These words can make you appear unsure or hesitant. Instead, pause briefly to collect your thoughts before speaking. Silence is powerful. It gives your audience time to process your message and shows that you are thoughtful and deliberate. Practicing pausing, rather than filling the space with unnecessary words, will make your speech stronger and your presence more authoritative. Another technique to enhance clear and confident speech is practicing in different situations. Start by speaking in front of a mirror, then to friends or family, and gradually to larger groups. Recording yourself can also help identify areas for improvement, such as pacing, tone, and clarity. The more you practice, the more comfortable you will become, and your confidence will grow naturally. Leaders often rehearse their speeches or presentations to ensure their communication is polished and effective. Active listening also supports confident speaking. When you pay attention to your audience, you can adjust your message based on their reactions. Notice if people look confused, interested, or engaged, and respond accordingly. Being aware of how your audience receives your words allows you to clarify points, emphasize key ideas, and maintain control of the conversation. Confident speakers adapt their communication to meet the needs of their listeners. Storytelling is another powerful tool for speaking clearly and confidently. When you use stories, your ideas become relatable and memorable. A story can illustrate your point, evoke emotion, and engage your audience. Practice telling stories with clear structure, strong details, and a natural flow. Stories make your communication more dynamic and help your audience connect with your message on a deeper level. Leaders often use stories to inspire action, explain concepts, and leave a lasting impression. And building confidence in speaking comes from experience. The more you speak, the more you learn about what works and what doesn't. Each conversation, presentation, or discussion is an opportunity to refine your skills. Over time, speaking clearly and confidently becomes second nature. Leaders understand that experience, combined with practice and preparation, builds the foundation for powerful communication. Chapter 6. Influencing others through your words. Being able to influence others is a key part of speaking like a leader. Influence is not about forcing people to do what you want. It's about inspiring them, gaining their trust, and encouraging them to take action because they believe in your ideas. Communication is the tool that allows you to create this influence. When you speak with clarity, confidence, and purpose, your words can motivate people, build cooperation, and create meaningful impact. One of the first steps in influencing others is to understand your audience. Effective leaders know that communication is not one size fits all. People have different perspectives, motivations, and priorities. To influence someone, you need to understand what matters to them, what concerns they have, and what inspires them. By tailoring your message to their needs, you make it easier for them to relate to your ideas and accept your suggestions. Listening plays a key role here. The better you understand your audience, the more impactful your words become. Another important aspect of influencing others is building credibility. People are more likely to follow someone they trust and respect. Credibility comes from demonstrating knowledge, confidence, and integrity. When you speak with authority on a topic, provide accurate information, and maintain honesty, your audience is more likely to believe in you. Leaders understand that credibility is earned over time through consistent behavior, reliability, and clear communication. Without credibility, even the best message may fail to influence. Storytelling is a powerful way to influence people. Stories capture attention, evoke emotion, and make ideas relatable. A story can illustrate your point, show real-world examples, and help your audience see the value of your message. When you tell a story, focus on clarity, relevance, and emotion. People are more likely to remember a story than a series of facts or instructions. Leaders often use stories to inspire action and make complex ideas understandable. A well-told story can move people to think differently and act confidently. The language you use also impacts your influence. Choosing words that are positive, clear, and motivating helps you connect with your audience. Avoid negative or confusing language that can create doubt or resistance. Instead, use words that inspire confidence and convey possibility. Confidence is another crucial factor in influencing others. When you speak confidently, people are more likely to trust your judgment and follow your lead. Confidence shows that you believe in your message and in your ability to handle challenges. Even if you feel nervous, projecting confidence can make a significant difference in how your message is received. Leaders often act confidently before they feel confident, knowing that their demeanor influences others. Influence is also strengthened by empathy. Understanding and acknowledging the feelings and perspectives of others allows you to communicate in a way that resonates. When people feel understood, they are more open to your idea. Empathy helps you frame your message so that it aligns with their concerns and goals, creating a sense of connection and trust. Leaders use empathy to inspire cooperation and motivate action without imposing authority. Non-verbal cues enhance your ability to influence. Gestures, posture, facial expressions, and eye contact reinforce your words. Open, confident body language signals sincerity and authority. Avoiding fidgeting or closed-off postures keeps the focus on your message. Leaders understand that nonverbal communication can strengthen or undermine your influence, and they practice using their presence to support their words. Building rapport is another essential tool for influence. People are more likely to listen and follow someone they feel connected to. Rapport comes from genuine interest, active listening, empathy, and shared understanding. By building strong relationships and trust, you create a foundation where your words carry weight and inspire action. Leaders invest time in relationship building because influence is stronger when people feel valued and understood. Finally, consistency is key to long-term influence. Your words must align with your actions. When people see that your behavior matches your message, your influence grows. Inconsistent communication erodes trust and diminishes credibility. Leaders know that influence is built not just through what they say, but through consistent, reliable action over time. By maintaining consistency, you ensure that your communication remains persuasive, credible, and respected. Chapter 7. Handling difficult conversation. Not every conversation is easy. Sometimes you have to talk about sensitive topics, give feedback, or address conflict. These situations can be uncomfortable, but handling them well is a mark of a true leader. Speaking effectively during difficult conversations requires preparation, empathy, and confidence. The way you communicate in these moments can strengthen relationships, build respect, and solve problems, while poor communication can create misunderstandings and tension. The first step in handling difficult conversations is preparing your thoughts. Know what you want to communicate and why. Think about the key points you need to cover and the outcome you hope to achieve. Consider the perspective of the other person and how they might respond. Preparation allows you to stay focused and avoid saying things in the heat of the moment that could make the situation worse. Leaders take time to prepare because they understand that thoughtful communication reduces conflict and increases understanding. Empathy is essential in difficult conversations. Try to understand the feelings, needs, and perspectives of the other person. Recognize that they may feel stressed, defensive, or upset, and approach the conversation with respect and understanding. When you show empathy, it helps the other person feel heard and valued. This does not mean you have to agree with them, but it does mean acknowledging their perspective and using it to guide your communication. Empathy turns a tense conversation into a constructive dialogue. Another key aspect is staying calm. Strong emotions can make difficult conversations harder and may lead to arguments or misunderstandings. Take deep breaths, maintain a steady tone, and speak slowly and clearly. Pausing before responding gives you time to think and ensures that your words are deliberate rather than reactive. Leaders remain calm under pressure, and their composure allows others to feel safe and open during challenging discussions. Clarity is also vital. Be direct but respectful in your communication. Avoid vague statements or indirect messages, which can create confusion or misinterpretation. Clearly state the issue, your concerns, and any expectations or solutions. Using specific examples helps illustrate your point and makes it easier for the other person to understand your perspective. Clear communication prevents misunderstandings and ensures the conversation is productive. Listening is just as important as speaking during difficult conversations. Let the other person share their thoughts and feelings without interruption. Ask clarifying questions and paraphrase what you've heard to ensure understanding. Listening demonstrates respect and shows that you value the other person's input. When people feel heard, they are more likely to respond constructively and collaborate on a solution. Leaders know that effective communication is a two-way process, especially in tough situations. Tone and body language play a crucial role in difficult conversations. Speak in a calm, neutral tone and avoid aggressive or accusatory language. Maintain open body language. Make eye contact and avoid gestures that could be interpreted as defensive or confrontational. Your presence should reinforce your words and signal that you are there to resolve the issue, not escalate it. Non-verbal cues are powerful and often communicate more than words alone. Timing is another factor to consider. Choose a moment when both parties are calm and can focus on the conversation. Avoid discussing sensitive issues when emotions are high or when someone is rushed or distracted. Setting aside dedicated time for the conversation shows that you take the matter seriously and respect the other person. Leaders understand that timing can determine whether a difficult conversation succeeds or fails. It's also important to focus on solutions, not blame. Pointing fingers or dwelling on past mistakes can make the other person defensive and reduce the effectiveness of the conversation. Instead, direct the discussion toward finding solutions or improving the situation. Ask questions like, how can we move forward, or what can we do differently next time? Solution-oriented communication keeps the conversation productive and helps both parties work together toward a positive outcome. Managing your emotions is critical. It's normal to feel frustrated, upset, or defensive during tough conversations, but letting emotions control your words can harm the relationship. Take deep breaths, pause before responding, and keep your focus on the objective of the conversation. Leaders practice self-awareness and emotional regulation, which allows them to communicate effectively even under pressure. And follow up after the conversation, ensure that agreements or action items are implemented, and check in to see if the situation has improved. Following up shows accountability and reinforces the importance of the discussion. It also demonstrates that you are committed to solutions and building trust, which strengthens your influence and leadership. Chapter 8. Inspiring others through communication. Communication is not just about sharing information, it's about inspiring people to take action, think differently, or feel motivated. Leaders know that the right words, delivered with confidence and sincerity, can influence others and create positive change. Inspiring communication is about connecting with people emotionally, gaining their trust, and helping them see the possibilities. When you speak with intention, your words can spark action and build a loyal following. The first step to inspiring others is to speak with purpose. Before you say anything, consider the goal of your message. What do you want your audience to understand, feel, or do after listening to you? Clear purpose gives your communication direction and ensures that your words have impact. Leaders speak intentionally. They choose their words carefully and ensure that every message contributes to their overall vision. When your audience senses your purpose, they are more likely to engage and respond positively. Emotion plays a crucial role in inspiring communication. People are motivated by feelings as much as by facts. Sharing your passion, enthusiasm, or personal experiences can make your message resonate. Stories, anecdotes, or examples that evoke emotion help listeners relate to your message on a deeper level. Leaders understand that emotion creates connection and drives action. By expressing genuine feelings, you can inspire others to believe in your ideas and follow your lead. Clarity is also vital for inspiring communication. If your message is confusing or unclear, it loses its impact. Speak in simple, direct language and avoid unnecessary jargon or complex explanations. Break your message into manageable parts and guide your audience through your points logically. When people understand your message clearly, they are more likely to be influenced by it. Clarity builds trust and reinforces your authority as a communicator. Confidence enhances your ability to inspire. When you speak with confidence, your audience believes in your message and in your leadership. Confidence comes from preparation, knowledge, and experience. Even if you feel nervous, projecting confidence signals to others that your ideas are worth listening to. Leaders know that confidence is contagious. When you speak confidently, people are more likely to follow, support, and trust you. Another key to inspiring communication is authenticity. People can sense when someone is genuine versus when they are putting on a facade. Being authentic means speaking honestly, sharing your true thoughts and experiences, and showing vulnerability when appropriate. Authenticity builds credibility and emotional connection, which are essential for inspiring others. Leaders are authentic in their communication because they understand that trust and inspiration come from being real. Listening is also part of inspiring communication. To inspire others, you need to understand their perspectives, challenges, and motivations. Active listening allows you to tailor your message so that it speaks to their needs and aspirations. When people feel heard, they are more receptive to your ideas. Leaders listen carefully because understanding their audience ensures that their words resonate and create lasting influence. Storytelling is a particularly effective tool for inspiration. Stories make abstract ideas tangible, memorable, and relatable. A story can illustrate a lesson, demonstrate a possibility, or show the results of taking action. When telling a story, focus on details, emotion, and a clear takeaway. People remember stories much longer than facts alone, and they are more likely to act when they feel personally connected to the message. Leaders often use stories to motivate teams, communicate vision, and inspire action. Body language and tone also contribute to inspiring communication. Standing tall, using gestures naturally, maintaining eye contact, and speaking with varied tone convey confidence, sincerity, and enthusiasm. Your non-verbal cues should align with your words to reinforce your message. A mismatch between what you say and how you say it can weaken your impact. Leaders use their presence intentionally to enhance the influence of their words. Timing matters as well. Choosing the right moment to share your message can greatly increase its impact. Deliver your message when people are receptive, attentive, and open. Pausing for emphasis, using silence strategically, and adjusting pacing ensures your words are heard and absorbed. Leaders understand that timing can amplify inspiration and make communication more effective. Consistency is essential for long-term influence. Your words should align with your actions. People are inspired not just by what you say, but by what you do. When your actions reflect your message, your credibility and influence grow. Leaders maintain consistency in their communication and behavior because it reinforces trust and inspires loyalty. So, practice is key to becoming an inspiring communicator. Speak regularly, refine your message, and seek feedback. Record yourself, practice in front of friends, or engage in public speaking opportunities. Each experience builds confidence, improves clarity, and strengthens your ability to connect with others. The more you practice inspiring communication, the more natural and effective it becomes. Chapter 9. Asking powerful questions. Communication is not just about talking, it's also about asking the right questions. Questions guide conversations, spark ideas, and encourage people to think deeply. Leaders know that asking powerful questions is a skill that builds trust, promotes collaboration, and inspires action. When you ask the right questions, you gain valuable insight and influence the direction of a discussion in a positive way. The first step in asking powerful questions is to be curious. Genuine curiosity allows you to explore ideas, understand perspectives, and uncover new information. When you approach conversations with curiosity, people feel valued and heard. They are more willing to open up and share their thoughts. Curiosity demonstrates engagement, and it encourages deeper dialogue. Leaders use curiosity to learn, understand, and connect with others, creating stronger relationships and more productive conversations. Another important aspect of powerful questions is clarity. A question should be clear and specific, so the person you're speaking with understands exactly what you are asking. Vague or confusing questions can create misunderstandings and hinder communication. For example, instead of asking, "What do you think about the project?" you could ask, "What is one area of this project that you feel could be improved, and how?" Clear questions are easier to answer and encourage meaningful discussion. Open-ended questions are especially powerful. These are questions that cannot be answered with a simple yes or no. Open-ended questions invite people to share more details, explain their thinking, and provide insight. For instance, asking, "How do you see this challenge affecting our team?" encourages reflection and elaboration. Leaders use open-ended questions to foster creativity, gather information, and encourage collaboration. The more someone shares, the more engaged they become in the conversation. Listening is essential when asking questions. A question is only effective if you pay attention to the answer. Active listening allows you to understand the perspective of the person you're speaking with and respond thoughtfully. By listening carefully, you can ask follow-up questions, clarify points, and explore ideas more deeply. Leaders listen not just to reply, but to understand, and this strengthens the impact of their questions. Another key element is timing. Asking a question at the right moment can encourage reflection and lead to more meaningful answers. Interrupting, rushing, or asking questions at an inappropriate time can reduce their effectiveness. Observe the flow of conversation and look for moments when your question will have the most impact. Leaders use timing strategically to guide discussions and inspire thoughtful responses. The tone in which you ask questions also matters. A warm, respectful tone encourages honesty and openness. Avoid sounding judgmental, sarcastic, or aggressive, as this can shut down communication. A supportive tone invites people to share their true thoughts and creates a safe environment for dialogue. Leaders cultivate a tone that fosters trust and encourages people to contribute meaningfully. Questions can also be used to challenge thinking and promote growth. Instead of just seeking information, you can ask questions that encourage reflection, problem-solving, and creativity. For example, what is another way we could approach this challenge, or what would happen if we tried a different strategy? Thoughtful questions inspire critical thinking and help people see possibilities they may not have considered. Leaders use this technique to stimulate innovation and encourage independent thinking. Another technique is clarifying assumptions. Many conversations involve unspoken assumptions that influence decisions and opinions. Asking questions like, "Can you explain why you believe this approach will work?" or "What assumptions are we making here?" helps uncover hidden assumptions and ensures everyone is on the same page. Leaders ask clarifying questions to prevent misunderstandings and make better informed decisions. Powerful questions also involve reflection. Asking someone to reflect on their experiences, decisions, or challenges encourages self-awareness and personal growth. Questions like, "What did you learn from this experience?" or "How could you approach this differently next time?" help people think critically and take responsibility for their actions. Reflection promotes learning and strengthens communication by encouraging honest and thoughtful responses. So, practice is essential for asking powerful questions. Think about the questions you ask in daily conversations, meetings, or presentations. Reflect on how people respond and refine your approach. Over time, you will develop the skill to ask questions that are clear, engaging, and inspiring. Leaders practice asking powerful questions because it strengthens relationships, encourages collaboration, and enhances their ability to influence and guide others. Chapter 10. Giving and receiving feedback. Feedback is a vital part of communication and growth. Leaders know that giving and receiving feedback effectively can strengthen relationships, improve performance, and create opportunities for learning. Feedback is not about criticism or blame. It is about sharing observations, offering guidance, and supporting improvement. Mastering feedback helps you communicate clearly, build trust, and inspire positive change in yourself and others. When giving feedback, the first step is to focus on behavior, not the person. Avoid attacking someone's character or personality. Instead, describe the specific action or behavior that needs attention. For example, instead of saying, "You are careless," you could say, "I noticed that the report contained several errors. Let's review it together to ensure accuracy." This approach keeps the conversation constructive and prevents defensiveness. Leaders focus on actions because it allows the recipient to understand what they can improve without feeling personally attacked. Timing is important when giving feedback. Providing feedback too late can reduce its effectiveness, while giving it in the heat of the moment can make it feel harsh or reactive. Choose a time when both parties can focus on the conversation calmly. Private settings are often best, especially for sensitive feedback. By considering timing, you ensure your feedback is received thoughtfully and respectfully. Tone and delivery are key to making feedback constructive. Speak in a calm, respectful, and supportive tone. Avoid sounding angry, sarcastic, or dismissive, as this can damage trust. Your goal is to help the person improve, not to make them feel bad. Leaders use tone to convey respect and care, which increases the likelihood that feedback will be acted upon positively. Feedback should also include specific examples. Vague statements are difficult to act upon and may be misunderstood. By providing concrete examples of what you observed, you clarify your message and make it actionable. For instance, saying, "During the team meeting, I noticed that some points were not addressed clearly," gives a clear reference that the person can reflect on and improve. Specific feedback is practical and more effective in driving change. When receiving feedback, it's important to listen actively and without defensiveness. It's natural to feel defensive when someone points out areas for improvement, but reacting with excuses or arguments prevents growth. Instead, focus on understanding the feedback, asking clarifying questions if needed, and considering how you can apply it. Leaders receive feedback with humility and openness, knowing that it provides valuable insight for development. Feedback should also be balanced. While it's important to address areas for improvement, recognizing strengths and accomplishments is equally valuable. Positive feedback motivates, builds confidence, and reinforces effective behaviors. A balance of constructive and positive feedback ensures that communication is encouraging and productive. Leaders understand that people are more receptive to feedback when they feel valued and recognized for their contributions. Another key aspect of effective feedback is to offer suggestions for improvement. Simply pointing out a problem is not enough. Provide guidance on how to address it. Suggest actionable steps, offer resources, or provide examples of successful approaches. This transforms feedback into a roadmap for growth, making it easier for the recipient to take action and improve. Leaders focus on solutions because it empowers others to develop their skills and confidence. It's also important to encourage dialogue during feedback. Feedback should be a two-way conversation, not a lecture. Invite the other person to share their perspective, ask questions, or offer explanations. This creates a collaborative environment where both parties can learn and grow. Leaders encourage dialogue because it strengthens understanding, builds trust, and fosters a sense of ownership in the improvement process. When giving feedback, focus on the future. While it's important to address past behavior, the goal is to guide improvement moving forward. Frame feedback in terms of what can be done differently next time rather than dwelling on mistakes. For example, saying, "In the future, you might try summarizing key points before the meeting to keep everyone aligned," focuses on positive change. Forward-looking feedback motivates and empowers people to improve rather than feel judged. Receiving feedback also requires self-reflection. After listening, take time to consider what was said, how it applies to your actions, and how you can implement changes. Reflection allows you to internalize feedback and turn it into actionable steps for growth. Leaders view feedback as a tool for continuous improvement, using it to enhance their skills, relationships, and impact. Finally, practice is essential for mastering feedback. The more you give and receive feedback thoughtfully, the more natural it becomes. Practice active listening, delivering messages with clarity and empathy, and responding to feedback with openness. Over time, giving and receiving feedback will become an integral part of your communication skill set, helping you speak like a leader and inspire growth in yourself and others. Chapter 11. Leading with confidence through communication. Effective communication is one of the most powerful tools a leader can possess. Leadership is not just about giving orders or holding a title. It is about influencing, inspiring, and guiding others. How you communicate directly affects your ability to lead, gain trust, and make a lasting impact. When you communicate with confidence, clarity, and authenticity, people are more likely to listen, follow your guidance, and believe in your vision. Confidence begins with self-belief. If you do not trust your own knowledge, abilities, and judgment, others will sense your uncertainty. Leaders project confidence because they understand their strengths and have prepared thoroughly. Confidence does not mean arrogance or overconfidence. It means having faith in your message, skills, and the value you bring. Even when you feel nervous, maintaining a confident tone and posture allows your audience to trust in your authority and expertise. Clarity is another key factor in leading through communication. When your words are clear and organized, your audience can easily understand your vision and expectations. A confident leader structures their message logically, using simple language and concrete examples. Avoiding jargon and unnecessary complexity ensures that everyone, regardless of background, can follow and engage. Clear communication prevents misunderstandings and strengthens your influence. Listening is just as important as speaking in leadership. A confident leader listens actively and empathetically to understand the perspectives, concerns, and ideas of their team. Listening allows you to respond thoughtfully, make informed decisions, and build stronger relationships. When people feel heard, they are more willing to contribute, take ownership, and trust your guidance. Leadership communication is a balance of speaking with authority and listening with openness. Another essential aspect is adaptability. Situations, teams, and challenges are rarely static, and effective leaders adjust their communication to meet the needs of the moment. This may involve changing your tone, simplifying your message, or addressing concerns in a different way. Adaptable communication ensures that your message is relevant, understood, and influential, no matter the circumstances. Leaders who communicate with flexibility maintain authority while remaining approachable and responsive. Nonverbal communication also plays a vital role in leadership. Your body language, eye contact, gestures, and facial expressions reinforce your words. Standing tall, using open gestures, and maintaining eye contact convey confidence and credibility. Conversely, slouching, avoiding eye contact, or appearing tense can undermine your message. Leaders use body language intentionally to project authority, create engagement, and strengthen their communication. Storytelling is a powerful tool for confident leadership communication. Leaders use stories to illustrate vision, demonstrate values, and inspire action. A story makes complex ideas tangible, engages emotions, and leaves a memorable impression. When telling a story, focus on clarity, relevance, and authenticity. Stories create connection and help your audience internalize your message. Leaders understand that facts inform, but stories inspire. Managing difficult conversations is another skill that demonstrates leadership confidence. Addressing challenges, conflicts, or sensitive topics with clarity, empathy, and composure strengthens trust and credibility. Leaders prepare, listen actively, and respond thoughtfully to difficult conversations, turning potential tension into constructive dialogue. Handling these situations with confidence ensures that relationships remain strong and communication is effective. Confidence in leadership communication also comes from preparation and knowledge. Being well-informed allows you to speak authoritatively and answer questions accurately. Leaders take the time to research, gather insights, and anticipate challenges. Preparation minimizes uncertainty, strengthens credibility, and allows you to speak confidently, even in high-pressure situations. When your audience senses that you are prepared, your influence and trustworthiness increase. Empathy is a key component of leadership communication. Understanding the needs, motivations, and concerns of others allows you to connect authentically. Leaders who communicate with empathy create trust and loyalty. Empathetic communication ensures that your messages resonate and are more likely to inspire action. By considering others' perspectives, leaders demonstrate care and establish stronger bonds within their teams. Consistency is also essential. A confident leader communicates consistently, aligning words with actions. Mixed messages or inconsistent behavior erode trust and authority. By maintaining consistency, leaders build credibility and create a predictable, reliable environment. Consistent communication reinforces vision, expectations, and values, making leadership more effective and impactful. Finally, leaders practice reflection and continuous improvement in communication. After every meeting, presentation, or conversation, reflect on what went well and what could be improved. Seek feedback, observe reactions, and adjust your approach accordingly. Leadership communication is a skill that grows with experience, practice, and self-awareness. The more you refine your abilities, the more confidently and effectively you can guide others. Chapter 12: Mastering Communication for Lasting Impact. Communication is a lifelong skill, and mastering it is key to becoming a leader who inspires, influences, and connects. By now, you have learned about the importance of listening, organizing your thoughts, using body language, speaking clearly, influencing others, handling difficult conversations, and asking powerful questions. The final step is integrating all these skills to communicate with purpose and make a lasting impact. Mastery comes from practice, self-awareness, and intentionality. The first step in mastering communication is self-awareness. Understand your strengths and areas for improvement. Pay attention to your tone, body language, clarity, and the way your words are received by others. Self-awareness allows you to identify habits that support effective communication and those that may hinder it. Leaders who are self-aware adjust their communication style to maximize understanding and influence. The more you know about how you communicate, the more effectively you can engage others. Confidence continues to play a central role in mastery. When you speak with confidence, your audience is more likely to trust and follow your guidance. Confidence comes from preparation, experience, and belief in your message. It allows you to remain calm under pressure and maintain clarity even in challenging situations. Leaders know that confidence is contagious, and when they communicate confidently, others feel more secure, motivated, and engaged. Active listening is another essential component. Master communicators do not simply wait for their turn to speak. They truly listen. Listening allows you to understand perspectives, address concerns, and build trust. When you respond thoughtfully to what you hear, your communication becomes more impactful. Mastery is achieved when listening and speaking are seamlessly integrated, creating a flow that engages, informs, and inspires your audience. Clarity and simplicity remain critical. Mastering communication requires the ability to convey complex ideas in a way that is easy to understand. Avoid unnecessary jargon, long sentences, or convoluted explanations. Break down your message into digestible pieces and ensure that your main points are evident. Clear communication reduces misunderstandings and increases the likelihood that your audience will act on your message. Leaders who communicate clearly are remembered for their insight and influence. Empathy is the glue that connects all aspects of communication. Understanding and acknowledging the feelings and perspectives of others strengthens connection and trust. Empathetic communication ensures that your message resonates and that your audience feels heard. Leaders who integrate empathy with clarity and confidence inspire loyalty and cooperation, fostering environments where collaboration and innovation flourish. Storytelling remains a powerful tool for mastery. By weaving narratives into your communication, you can illustrate points, evoke emotions, and make ideas memorable. A well-told story transforms abstract concepts into tangible experiences, allowing your audience to connect with your message on a personal level. Leaders use storytelling to motivate, teach, and inspire action. Master communicators use stories strategically to reinforce their points and leave a lasting impression. Handling difficult conversations is a hallmark of a master communicator. Addressing conflicts, sensitive topics, or high-stakes discussions requires preparation, empathy, and emotional regulation. Mastery means approaching these situations with calm authority, listening actively, and guiding the conversation toward constructive outcomes. Leaders who handle difficult conversations effectively strengthen relationships, resolve issues, and maintain credibility. Consistency in words and actions is crucial for lasting impact. Communication is most powerful when it aligns with behavior. Mixed messages or inconsistency erode trust and diminish influence. Leaders maintain consistent communication by ensuring that their words reflect their actions, values, and vision. Consistency builds credibility, reinforces expectations, and creates a reliable environment where people feel confident in following your guidance. Another key element is adaptability. Master communicators recognize that no two conversations or audiences are the same. Being flexible and responsive to changing dynamics, feedback, and reactions allows you to adjust your approach and ensure your message is received effectively. Leaders adapt their communication style to match the needs of their audience, the context of the conversation, and the desired outcome. Adaptability enhances engagement and influence. Practice and reflection are essential for mastery. Every conversation, presentation, and interaction is an opportunity to refine your skills. Reflect on what worked, what didn't, and how you can improve. Seek feedback from trusted peers, mentors, or team members. Practice speaking clearly, listening actively, and using non-verbal cues intentionally. Over time, these repeated efforts build fluency, confidence, and influence. Mastery is not achieved overnight. It is the result of consistent effort and deliberate practice. Finally, mastering communication is about impact. Effective communication leaves a lasting impression, inspires action, and fosters strong connections. It is not just about what you say, but how you make others feel, what they remember, and how they respond. Leaders who communicate with mastery influence positively, create trust, and leave a meaningful legacy. Every word, gesture, and interaction contributes to your lasting impact.